So previously you saw the outside arm go on, now it's time for the outside back. Now in the first part of this outside back install, I am going to go pretty quickly because a lot of the techniques that were used on the other part of the chair are very similar to the outside back. So I'm just going to start with the cording here, go quickly through that. Now tack strip, same as the outside arm. And now it's time for the backing. Okay, so I'm going to use the same technique that I used on the outside arm. Blind tack the top part of this, and I'll hand sew these sides. So you can temporarily put it in place with the pins again. And then you can go ahead and make sure it's straight, make sure all your lines look good, and mark it with the chalk line. Okay, so right here I am just centering it up, making sure the lines are perfectly in line, and now it's time to put the tack strip in. Take your time with this, it can be a little cumbersome. Just make sure your chalk line and your cording line up. And as you can see here, I put the tack strip in there and put the edge of the tack strip against the chalk line and folded the fabric over. And once I did that, I put it up against the chair and folded the fabric back and stapled it in place. This way you can really make sure your lines are going to look good. Okay, so now that you've got that blind tacked, you should be an expert at it now. You've done it twice. It's time to put the padding back in. And once again, I was able to salvage the polyester batting from the previous upholstery job, and I can use it now. So you've got it blind tacked, you got your padding on, now you can attach it to the bottom. What you don't see is I already marked the centers, and I marked where the stripes needed to go, so make sure you do that before you pull it down and tack it. Now to finish it off, I pin it in place because I'm going to hand sew it. An alternative way of this method would be to use ply grip or that metal tack strip, but this is more of the classic way to do it, and it's a little more durable, so I like to do it this way. And to finish it off, cut your corners and fold the excess under, and then you can fold the other part under the chair and staple it. Now here you can see where I folded the excess under where you can't staple it, and that way you have a nice finished edge. Okay, that's about it for the outside back. Time for some hand sewing.